Hi, I'm Jeff. So, for the first time in this country, we're building something that's never been done. We're building a F-22 flight simulator for gamers. Gaming is an important part of the subculture for the youth and for mental wellness. We're building it for the gaming hub ZW, and it's a work of beauty because it's done by young people for all the people, the gamers, the mobile gamers, and everyone. Gaming is not just for the kids. I mean, it's for everybody, and gaming can be a form of therapy. In building this, I actually found it very liberating. My concern was primarily for access for wheelchair access.
So you told me about the wheelchair access, and
I thought we could either put some kind of, you know how they've got these little Tuma steps, pinned into the cockpit?
Yeah.
I don't know, we could build that as an extra thing per side. The 2 by 1.6 meter unit that's built purely out of mild steel with a car seat and a light steel frame. It's built for social inclusion as well, in that anyone can just get into it without struggling. I was looking at kids in wheelchairs and adults with needs. You know how it was when you were a kid and you wanted to fly. I mean, I wanted to be a pilot when I was 9 years old. And some of us have never been in a plane. So I built this thing to give you the freedom you feel when you're flying, but on the ground. I don't know if it makes sense because my inner child it's just reinvigorated every time I look at this thing because it's the closest you can do to flying, but when you're on the ground. And I spoke to my programmer, Bebe, to make this as authentic as possible for everybody. I hope it makes some degree of sense. We can dream and we'll do it. But there have been hurdles along the way. Our initial concept, when it came from my fellow man, it was ambitious, but it had errors, and I spent nights trying to work out the smaller kinks. Like one side was kind of wider than the other, and the seat didn't fit. But I think we're good now. I mean, we have worked out all the little bits. So I'm just doing the final checks before I send this to the fabricator. I hope there'll be no issues there, but I've done my best. This thing is gonna fly. Try the red tone. That almost looks like PlayStation Blue, but yo, it's bright. Okay, we'll go with the red.
Gaming booths are not new in Zimbabwe, but the thing that we as the Gaming Hub ZW are working towards is creating and curating cross-cultural cooperation and understanding through video gaming. It's quite a mouthful, but I think that is what we are doing, trying to bridge different communities, trying to bridge people from different ideas, different backgrounds, men, women, and everything in between, for us to have that common understanding, for us to sort of move forward past the politics and all the other things that are going on right now in Zimbabwe, and then as well as lead the charge to use gaming as therapy in the country, because it is happening elsewhere, but unfortunately in the global south, therapy as a whole is something that is not readily accessible or readily available, especially for those that could really use it. And also, unfortunately, for now, also therapy is still being framed as an elitist thing. And maybe as a gaming hub, we are also falling in line with that vibe, but we are trying our best to sort of like really break down those barriers and make it as accessible as possible. I ended up even having someone ask me a question, so how are you going to be making money out of this when you're making the hub free during Shoko Festival? But my argument was, how can I be pushing for mental wellness through gaming and then charging, which would then cut a very large section of individuals that might benefit from mental wellness through gaming.
So as Jeff mentioned, you know, it was quite a challenge to sort of like get to the dimensions that we want to get to. But I'm glad that the program and the space design are finally working. And I'm sure you can hear from the background, there's a lot of banging and a lot of things going on. But you know what, as the gaming hub, we don't yet have our own space. So we are operating from Motor Republic. So it's a co-working space and there are a lot of things that are going on at the same time. So a lot of people are building some stuff outside, because right now we are in the whole build up to Shoko Festival, when the gaming hub is actually going to be launched and showcased. So I guess I hope you'll be, forgive us for allowing the sounds to happen, but this is how it is. Let's get the nuts and bolts to move. Let's get the banging going on. So here we are, alongside the bangs and clanks.